Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Your Time to Shine, a radio show designed to help you explore your own divine gifts. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight and being here with me. Love having you all here, and I hope that this night finds you all well. So I know that I have talked about, how spirit comes to us and how messages come through to us every single day. And all we have to do is be in awareness to that. And this week especially has been a really fantastic week for messages coming through especially in songs. Now, for me, messages coming through for songs is not unusual. I usually will wake up in the middle of the night or sometimes early in the morning and have a song playing in my head. And so it's a moment for me to stop and be in awareness about that song, because a lot of times that song, it will be one specific verse, right? It won't be playing the entire song. It will just be one specific verse. So again, this week, songs on the radio during my drive when I'm thinking about something and I look down or I turn the radio up and a specific song comes on or a specific verse. I mean, literally the other day I was in my car and I was thinking about something. I'm not going to go into details about what that was, but it was a very personal thing to me, about a decision that I was trying to understand, trying to make. And I turned the car on with the radio, and Katy Perry's Black Horse, I think that's the name of the song, came on. And it was just one or two verses that just hit me. And it was those two verses that for at least 2 hours after that, just kept playing in my head and playing in my head. So when you hear songs like that and they resonate with you, stop for a moment and think about what it was you were thinking about just prior to hearing that. Because I'm telling you that this is the way our loved ones get to us. They give us guidance through visuals, through song and, hearing song, or maybe it's music. Maybe it is an instrumental piece that makes you think of your mother or your father or a grandmother, grandfather, and it comes on the radio and you just instantly know that they're with you in that moment. Those are the things that I'm talking about. You have to stop and be in awareness, because sometimes those things are so subtle, so subtle. And if you're not paying attention, it's so easy to miss them, right? So again, for me, it's songs. It's about the vocals, and I usually get little pieces, little chunks, or maybe I'm just thinking of something. My radio is turned off in my car, and I look down and I have a digital one where I can see the name of the song and the group or the singer, and maybe it's just the name of the song, and I go, oh, that's it. Okay, thank you. I get it now. Right? So you just have to be in awareness of what that is. It's really about being in that awareness. And I can't stress that enough, right? You're thinking about something and you're walking down the street and all of a sudden you see a feather on the ground, right? Or maybe you pick up a quarter, right? And it reminds you of somebody past, somebody that you have lost. And it's in those moments that you know that they are with you. So stay in awareness, be present with your thoughts, because it's so easy for us, and me included, to get caught up and put the blinders on and get caught up in your day. Get caught up in the rigmarole and the everyday occurrences. It's so easy to get into that space and not be able to see clearly, not be able to think clearly. And so it's really up to us to stop and take a breath and think about all of those thoughts. So think about all those things that you're wanting to know, things that you're wanting to ask, that you need help with answers, right? Spirit and our loved ones are here to help us all the time. All we have to do is stop and be willing to listen and be in awareness of what that message might be. Because what picking up a quarter means to me may be something completely different to you, right? Hearing the song on a radio and the verse can mean something completely different to me than it does for you. And, speaking of songs, if you hear a verse that resonates with you, but you don't really know why, go Google the song and look up its meaning and see if it resonates with you. Because some songs are kind of cryptic, right? And if you hear a certain verse or a certain word in the song and you go, wow, okay, I know that means something, but I don't really know what that means. Go do a little bit of research about it, find out what the song is, find out about the word, and you can usually figure it out from there and what it means, what it relates to. And it could be that it is the answer to a prayer that you've been asking. So pay attention. Be in awareness around you and what's going on, and let those messages come through. Because I'm telling you, after a week that I've had this week, it's been like, wow, okay, that was a big message. I get it. And I am listening. All you have to do is listen and watch. All right. I hope that helps. Start checking out the songs that are coming through on the radio to you and see what happens. All right. Perfect. Right now, we are going to go to Amy in Columbus, Ohio. Good evening, Amy, and welcome to Your Time to Shine.
Thank you.
How are you this evening?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I am good, thank you. What can we do for you this evening?
I was just trying to some answers on a relationship if I could.
Okay. Is there something specific, or are you just looking for some general guidance on the relationship?
Just some guidance if I could.
Okay. Perfect. Amy, let me tune in with Spirit and see what they have to say. And I'll be right back with you. There's just going to be a little moment of silence while I take a moment to tune in, okay?
Okay.
Amy, okay, so has there been a situation with your relationship? The reason I'm asking is because I was being shown like an explosion, like a big blow up, and then a lot of turbulent waters. Is that pretty accurate as far as what's going on with you right now?
No, not really.
No.
He just has no communication. I'm just wondering if I'm wasting my time. It's been 10 years. He did lose his son due to murder about 5 years ago. So halfway in a relationship, and He lost his mom and his son, and he don't handle death well. So,
Oh my
he
goodness.
just,
Well, that's a lot for anybody, right? Especially in such close proximity, with each other. So that kind of makes sense. Actually, what I'm being shown is because it's like things are kind of coming to a head for him. It's all coming up. Um, he's really going deep within and just not talking. And pretty soon, this is all going to come up. There's going to be this like big explosion. Maybe not necessarily like a fight or anything like that, but for him personally, there's going to be this big explosion where he's going to have to come to terms with this. It's like he can't hide from this much longer. He can't run from this much longer. He's really pushed it down pretty hard because he's on overload, really. And he's got this protection around him, and he's not talking about things. It's almost like if you don't talk about it, it doesn't really exist, right? You don't have to deal with things that way.
Yeah, but I was kind of concerned because his mom's been gone like 20 something years, and he was like the biggest mama's boy ever in life. Like, so, and I don't know what it's like because I am still thankful to still have my mom. But I mean, it's like I don't know what to think. If it's
Right.
worth, holding on to or not, because I lost my son too. Believe it or not, he was only 6 weeks old. And, so I know what it's like to lose a child. I mean, honestly, he was a baby, so I don't really know, but it still hurts, so
Right.
I tried to help him through this. But he won't really talk about things like that. And, sometimes I just feel like, I don't know, like God sent me to him to get him through, the loss of a child, but then maybe that was just supposed to be all I was supposed to do. And, how some people, like, they'll bring you into someone's life for certain reasons, but then, your purpose is over, it's over. But I don't want that to be the case, but then I don't want to continue living my life like this either. Like, he doesn't want to go nowhere, he doesn't want to do anything. Like, I don't feel special, and I don't know because he's so depressed he can't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what's going on is, yes, his mom has been gone for 20 years, but he hasn't processed any of that. He hasn't talked about it. So all he's done is suppress it. And when that happens, eventually, at some point in time, it's going to come up and you're going to have to face it. And it's like, that's what they're showing me right now. It's like all this stuff that he's been pushing down. It's like a volcano under pressure, right? It's like it keeps building, it keeps building until you can't contain it anymore. And then it's going to come out, right? Is he, I'm being shown that he's not very open to going to any kind of counseling or anything like that.
Yeah, he won't go. He said they can't help him.
Have you talked to him about going with him, like being that support system to walk through this with him?
No, you know what? That never came. I don't know. I never thought of that.
Because I'm being shown that he might do it if you were that support system for him. Just go and listen and be there for him. Because going on his own, he feels like he is alone, and he doesn't like that feeling either. So I think if you approached him with this, hey, I want to help you, let's do this together, right? Let's make this journey together. I think he might be open to that option.
Sounds really good. That sounds really good. But do you think he wants to do that with me? Because, like, I feel like he don't ever want to do nothing with me. Like, and it makes me feel like I'm not good enough. Or do you kind of understand what I'm saying?
I
I
do.
feel really empty. Like, I really feel like empty. And it hurts. Every day I wake up, I'm more and more depressed. And I'm like, is it even worth it? But see, I love him. And
you have to understand, you have to take that off of you, because this is really not about you. This is really about him, and this intense healing process that he's going to need to go through. What I'm being shown is, if he goes to get some help, it's going to help him through whatever it is, excuse me, whatever it is that he needs to get through and to speak out. Again, I'm coughing. So whatever it is to get out, will get out. However, if you can't convince him to do this and to move through this together, for support and help, you have to look at it from a standpoint of taking care of you, right? Because as much as you want to help him, if he's not willing to step up and try to help himself, you're going to have to look at it, because you say you wake up every morning and you feel even more depressed and you feel worse. And yes, you love him. And obviously you want to help him. But you then have to start looking at you, because it's going to start affecting your health and your life. And you need to take stock and say, am I doing myself justice, right?
So can I ask a question?
Sure.
Like, he doesn't really have closure either, because, like I said, his son got murdered, and nobody was ever, trial for it or any of that nature. And I don't know if he kind of blames himself, because I guess he used to, sell weed or whatever, and then his son grew up and he started doing that. So I don't know if, he blamed himself for, he wasn't really, he was like a weekend dad or once a month dad or something, the kids weren't nearby yet. But he was always single. He didn't have, I feel like his sister enabled him to the point where he could always just stay with her,
Mm-hmm.
So he would just stay with his sister and then get his kids, on the weekend or once a month or something. So, he feels like maybe that, he wasn't the father he should have been, or didn't spend more time with him, or, blaming himself because his son had sold drugs. Maybe that was the reason why his son was, murdered, or over drugs. I don't really know the whole situation because he doesn't talk about it. So what he knows about it, and I don't know because he doesn't talk.
Right.
He doesn't just matter to talk about bills. He's just upset.
Yeah, there's a huge amount of guilt, right? That he's trying to, well, not that he is trying to, but he's going to have to start working through in order to get out of this place that he's in. And again, if he's not willing to do that, right? If he's not willing to be able to figure out how to get out of that space, then it's going to go back to you, and you're going to have to do what's best for you, no matter whether you love him or not. You're going to have to make that decision, right? Does that make sense? Okay, I think I may have lost Amy. Right now, sorry, Amy, I hope this all works out. Right now, we're going to Kamala in Kelowna, in Pennsylvania. Good evening, Kelowna, and welcome to Your Time to Shine.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. What can I do for you tonight?
Just a general reading.
Okay, perfect. Let me tune in here real quick and see what your guides have to say. I'll be right back. There'll just be a quick minute of silence here, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so Kalana, wow, I'm being shown that you're such a free spirit. You've got so much love for life, but you've kind of forgotten about that love for life and how to bring that back into your life. There's been a little bit of some bumpy roads, so to speak, and so kind of along the way, you've forgotten how to laugh, have fun. Kind of it feels like it's like I just feel like I have so much heavy weight on my shoulders right now. It's like the drudgery of everyday life, and like you need something different. You need something new and exciting in your life. I'm being shown that there is like a shift in your job, or a shift in something that you're doing. Are you looking at maybe shifting occupations? Or even maybe or going back to school? There's a shift, like whatever it is that you're doing right now. So say that you're a nurse, right? You're looking into going into some other type of occupation, right? Maybe, okay, this is far-fetched,
yeah.
Accountant or something. But I mean, it's going to be something completely different.
Yeah.
Okay. So are you actively looking at that right now? This shift into something new? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You have a very creative side to you. So are you looking at getting back into that piece of it? Because I feel like what you're doing right now is kind of straight lined. It's like being that accountant, and you need to get out of that so you can get more into this creative mode of where that's really where you sit, right? Something creative, something to use the is it the right side or the left side of the brain? But getting out of that straight line of it has to be this way, and you do it this way, and you go through this and this and this to be able to get to from point A to point B. It's like that drives you insane.
Right.
So getting back into that creativeness is going to bring kind of that little piece of excitement back to you. And I just keep getting this schooling. Like, Are you going back to school, or are you going to be taking a class? Because I feel like there's this big push for that.
There's a big push for that?
Uh-huh.
Do you know what?
Is something coming to mind?
I don't know. I'm just wondering what you have in mind. Like, what do you think? Like, I don't know. I'm just asking. It could be a message for someone.
There's something about working with your hands. I don't know if it's art, something in the art part of careers, but there's something about you working with your hands.
Okay. Nursing or hair?
Hair.
Nursing or hair?
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. Something, yes, exactly. Because that's working with, because I kept going, okay, is it like art, like pot? For some reason I kept seeing like pottery, but that wasn't quite right. But it's like, it's that working with your hands, it's that creativity with your hands, like you would be working with pottery. So hair is definitely falling into that creative aspect, because it's about creation and about, working with something creatively, and using your hands, right?
Yep. Because I'm in nursing. I'm in the nursing field. Don't want to do it anymore.
That's pretty straight lined, and then going into creativity, absolutely. Kaylana, I'm so sorry, but I just have a few seconds left in my show, and so I need to say good night. But I hope this has been helpful for you.
Yes, thank you.
You're so welcome. Have a great evening.
You too.
Well, that does it for me, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. I want to take you over to my website at www.wingsofsoulswithjulie.com, or you can reach me on my Facebook pages at Julie YeagerWalker Medium or Your Time to Shine. Have a great week, everybody, and we will see you next week.